at 6'8" from Notre Dame, number 2, Monty Williams. And forward at 6'10" from Pittsburgh, number 54, Charles Smith. And at center at 7 feet from Georgetown, number 33, co-captain Patrick Ewing. The head trainer is Mike Saunders, the assistant trainer Tim Oaks, assistant coaches Jeff Van Gundy and Jeff Dix, and the head coach of the Knicks, Pat Riley.
Well, there has been much discussion this season about the lack of leadership on the New Jersey Nets. Can Derek Coleman be a leader? If not, who is the leader on this team? And our Michael Kay talked about that with Armin Gilliam.
I think as players, you have to lead yourself. If you got to this point, it's probably because you were motivated to go out and do the right thing on the court. Yes, it's nice to have a leader on the team, but since I don't know if we have a clear and set leader night in and night out, I think everybody has to lead themselves. We have to go out and just do our jobs. We know what we have to do on the floor.
What a dignified veteran Armand Gilliam is. He said it very well, despite all the confusion surrounding Butch Beard. Gilliam is the man who killed the Knicks in their first meeting here at the Garden. Killed them.
The Knick problem will be that net front line, in particular with Charles Oakley sideline. Derek Coleman is back on the floor for the Nets. Missed the first 2 games. Jason Williams starting at center for Benoit Benjamin. The officials are Dan Crawford, Nolan Fine, and Sean Corbett. Ewing and Williams on the opening tip, controlled by the Knicks. John Starks with the lead for Charles Smith, but it caught the front of the rim. And here's Coleman, picked up here by Ewing. Coleman with the spin, he beat Ewing and then missed the layup. On the follow, he is fouled. So Derek Coleman will go to the line.
Marv, I think from the Nets perspective, put yourself in a Nets uniform. You look at the game today without Charles Oakley, and you say, where is the toughness on the Knicks? Who are we afraid of? And I just have a feeling with Gilliam and Coleman, they're going to play with great confidence. The Knicks need toughness today because the Nets feel unappreciated in this area, and they want to slap it to the Knicks. You know they do after the frustration of last year's playoffs, following the success they had during the season, beating the Knicks 4 out of 5. And that's all I have to say.
Very, very well put here. For the start of the game, John, at just 11 minutes past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Exceptional for you. Charles Smith with the jump hook, and is rebounded by P.J. Brown. We're just underway at Madison Square Garden. The Nets coming off a come-from-behind win Saturday night at home over Minnesota by the count of 93-84. The Nets were down by as many as 14 points. Illegal defense, the call. So that is their first violation. And the other night against the Timberwolves for the 3rd straight game, the Nets came out flat. They were down at one point, 19-6. In the prior game, they beat the Sixers in Philadelphia. That stopped a 4-game losing streak. And they did it led by Kenny Anderson with 40 points, and they did it with the long-range shot. This is Walters stripped by Starks.
Starks was annoying him, and Walters couldn't resist the challenge.
Monty Williams ties the game at 2. Kenny Anderson being guarded by Derek Hopper. Anderson hitting 6 3-pointers in the game Friday night in Philadelphia that tied a franchise record. That's a forced shot, not a good one by Jason Williams. John Starks trying to turn it from the 1 for 9 the other night. Here's Smith. Nice move by Smith, whipping around Coleman.
So important for Charles to get going early in the game. He was very quiet against Utah.
Knicks come up with a steal. Hopper gets it to Starks, leading to a 3-on-1. Here's Smith. Yes, and it counts. Nice look-away feed from Starks, and then the Nets were able to regroup on Smith, and a good move by Charles to get the shot and the foul.
There's a Perry Ellis look now at this action. Tremendous pressure by the Knicks defensively. Harper with a good pass. 3-on-1. Starks looks left, passes right. And Charles Smith carves his way in there. He wasn't impatient getting the shot up.
3-point play for Charles Smith, who was fouled by Jason Williams. So the Knicks with 7 straight points, and they have a 7-2 lead. Kenny Anderson for Derek Coleman. P.J. Brown rebounded by Jason Williams and rejected by Patrick Ewing. Ewing the other day against Utah had 6 blocked shots, 1 shy of his season high. Ewing going up against Williams. Ewing getting inside.
He instinctively knew he could do that. He's bigger, he's wider. He's got to get the foul if he doesn't get the shot. Nice move by Ewing.
And an early timeout called by Butch Beers. The Knicks 9, the Nets 2. Mason. Rebound handled by Patrick Ewing, and John Starks pushes it down. Charles Smith, and the rebound taken by Jason Williams.
You got to like the move, though, Charles, with that left hand.
Here's P.J. Brown going to work on Monty Williams, and again it's Ewing off the board. And again the Knicks look to run. Hopper behind the back to set up Monty Williams. Yes. Well, Derek going with one out of the pages of Bob Cousy to get it off to Monty, and the Knicks lead 11-2. Coleman with an open 3 from way out. Derek Coleman from downtown, and the Knicks now lead 11-5. So 11 unanswered points for the Knicks before the Nets are able to get on the board. Here's Smith. Rebound Williams. And again, Monty Williams doing a nice job here in the early going. Ewing. And it's Jason Williams clearing. Rex Walters having difficulty getting shots off against John Starks.
I get the sense Starks knows he can dominate Walters, although Walters responds with a beautiful move despite John's pressure.
Yes, that time Rex got the shot off and did very well off the spin along the baseline. The Knicks 11 and the Nets 7. John Smith passed it up from 3-point land. Monty Williams against a tough defender in P.J. Brown.
And taller also. Monty with great patience figured that one out.
The Knicks 13 and the Nets 7. Nets have won their last 2 games. Coleman gets the front rim. Nets come in at 15 and 23, while the Knicks at 20 and 13 off the loss to Utah, held to a season low 81 points on Saturday night here at the Garden. Starks. John Starks, his first field goal attempt.
Coleman likes this one-on-one matchup.
Picked up by Ewing. Coleman going right around Ewing. The basket will count. And a foul. And Ewing has collected his second personal.
Coleman waited till it really cleared out for him to do what he wanted to do. He's got the speed, and he just sailed around Patrick, who did not attempt to stop Coleman. Still committed the foul. That's one of those very frustrating moments, because Ewing will come out of the game now, and he didn't stop the man from scoring.
Ewing, not a good matchup from the Knicks point of view against Coleman, and the Knicks have been switching Ewing on to Coleman, and in both instances he picked up fouls, and Anthony Mason will come on in just a moment. Now Ewing draws the foul. Jason Williams called for his second. Correction, it's Derek Coleman on that foul, his first. And Ewing to the line, so Anthony Mason remains at the scorer's table.
I mean, this is the worst thing that can happen for the Knicks, to lose Patrick now. He'll be out the rest of the quarter, and then he has to start up again in the second quarter, assuming that Pat Riley puts him in early second quarter. So it's worked well for the Nets to have a matchup with Coleman on Ewing. Those few times, Coleman has taken sound advantage.
Ewing is at 17 of his last 18 at the line. And the Knicks with a 3-point lead. 6:25 remaining in this first quarter. Kenny Anderson going to his left and bottled up and fouled by Harper. Harper stopped the first move, and then Anderson able to accelerate. Here's Mason for Ewing. So Ewing with 4 points, 3 rebounds, sitting down after picking up a second foul. And right now the matchups are Mason against Williams and Smith against Coleman. The Knicks 15 and the Nets 12. Coleman posting up. And they clear it out. Now Harper over to help. Here's Derek Coleman. Anthony Mason moves it down. He had a notion to split through on Williams and then lost his balance. Harper. Derek Harper from downtown. Derek had the hot hand from 3-point range the other night, hitting 6 of 11 against Utah. The Knicks 3-point shooting has come a long way. Last 5 games, almost 50% from downtown. The Nets get it back on the steal. Nice pass from Anderson, and Williams is fouled. Smith claiming clean block, but it's a foul.
Looked like a pretty block by Charles, who challenges Jason Williams. And it looked like he was all over the ball. The only question is what was going on at the hip level, which is difficult to see sometimes.
So Jason Williams at the line. Jason in his 5th year out of St. John's. He has been starting. And here's it from the crowd off that air ball. He's been starting in place of the flu-ridden Benoit Benjamin and has been playing well. The Knicks with a 5-point lead. Starks able to whip it by Walters, setting up Smith. Here comes Coleman. Setting up for the 3. Now picked up on a switch by Monty Williams. Anderson passed on the 3. Hits from 2-point range. The Knicks 18 and the Nets 15. Armin Gilliam played so well here at the Garden against the Knicks in the earlier meeting, getting set to come on. Charles Smith making it look very easy. So Charles Smith off to a 7-point start, and the Knicks lead by the count of 20-15.
Good sign for the Knicks, and Mason, if he can join in also, will be very important in Ewing's absence now.
Jason Williams. Will the basket count? Yes, it does. He got the call on the continuation. The foul committed by Charles Smith. And Jason Williams heads back to the foul line.
Got one gang.
Anthony Bonner getting set to come on. He'll replace Charles Smith. So Charles leaves with 7 points. High man for the Knicks. Derek Coleman off to a fast start for the Nets. He has 10.
Jason trying to avoid the embarrassing air ball a moment ago. At least he hits the rim. Last week we had another one with Greg Foster, a Minnesota big guy, threw an air ball. We're commenting it's hard to understand how those big strong fellas can't reach the rim sometimes.
Harper for Williams. Shot clock at 3. Starks the 3. John Starks continues to struggle. It appeared that he was able to bust out of it with the good performance against Indiana last week. But 1 for 9 the other night. 0 for 6 from downtown. Monty Williams called for the foul. Words exchanged between Derek Coleman and Monty Williams.
Hard not to exchange words with Derek because he loves to talk and always tries to incite his opponent and his teammates and his coach. And he succeeds in all cases.
Incredible quotes back and forth last week when Butch Beard was upset that Derek Coleman was either late for practice or had missed another practice, and Coleman said everybody misses practices, everybody misses shoot-arounds. My idea is this: missing a shoot-around or missing a practice doesn't make us lose a game. A philosophy that Anderson called for the foul, that every coach on the pro, collegiate, or high school level would go bananas over. Just go nuts. But Derek has a different thought on that subject. We'll be right back. The Knicks dressing room. Anthony Mason with his first field goal, and the Knicks now lead 22-19. We've come up on 3 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Armin Gilliam, who just checked in, attempting his first shot. Here's Coleman, and back comes Bonner. Bonner going all the way and rejected by Brown. P.J. Brown with the block.
Bonner did a great job getting out and leading that break.
Starks for Hopper for 3. Yes. Second three-pointer for Derek Hopper. And the Knicks lead 25-19. And it will be Nick Ball.
Well, it's interesting with Ewing out now. The Knicks come into this game today thinking inside. Let's go inside first before we shoot the threes. They now have to readjust and get a little looser and quicker on their three-point releases without Ewing inside.
Mason at the step. Had too much on it, going glass. And this is Rex Walters handling it. Rex Walters has been starting for the injured Kevin Edwards. Anderson for 3. Hopper. Mason on the follow.
What a team effort. 4 men participating on that fast break by the Knicks. That intensity won them that basket.
Kevin Edwards has been out with a tear of the left Achilles tendon, and the Nets have been making the point how much they have missed Kevin Edwards. I enjoyed seeing Edwards' reaction. He said, you know, it didn't seem like they missed me that much when I was playing. All of a sudden, my absence has made me the most valuable player on this team.
You know, it's an example of that, Marv. I think of Doc Rivers last year before he got hurt in the middle of last December. He wasn't spoken about before getting hurt in the way he was spoken about after he was hurt. That often happens.
That's the 24-second buzzer, and since the ball did not hit the rim, it is a violation. And the ball goes back to the Knicks. Hubert Davis on the floor for the first time, and he has been on fire. As you can see, the last 4 games, averaging nearly 17 per game. He's shooting 64%, burning it up from beyond the three-point line.
He's in a good matchup now with Sleepy Floyd, who shouldn't bother him that much. Let's see if it happens.
Monty Williams passed on the drive to give it to Anthony Mason. Apparently a very good decision. The Knicks lead 29-19. Mason has come on and done a nice job. Patrick Ewing sitting down early after picking up a second foul. Here's Coleman spinning, beating Mason on a post post-up move.
Looked like a little lip followed, too, in the direction of Mason from Sweet Derek.
14 points for Coleman. And the Knicks lead 29-21. Bonner able to get it back on a deflection. Bonner with a rare outside shot.
People don't guard him when he's 15 feet away. Everybody knows to stay out of Derek's way when he gets the ball in a one-on-one situation.
That time stripped by Mason. And a foul is called on Mason. He had Coleman handcuffed. And Anthony Mason called for his first with 16 seconds remaining in this first quarter. So Coleman to the line. He's 5 for 5 from the line. He has 14 of the Nets' 21 points.
He's an excellent foul shooter as well, shooting them at 76% this year. Draws a lot of fouls. By far the leading man on his team at drawing fouls.
This man is physically gifted as any player in the NBA. It starts for Williams, talking of Derek Coleman, but it's always been the question of attitude. And John, I know it's a statement that you can find holes in. I don't think we're going to ever see him change. It's so rare where a guy reverses.
It's at the point, too, despite the recent statements by ownership of the Nets that they have no plans on changing coach, you know, in the near future, and Kenny Anderson and Derek are going to be there. A statement that was made the other day. It just seems that whoever he were to go to, should they trade him, would have to be a very special coach, and I couldn't imagine it being Pat Riley.
Harper able to hit with 1 second remaining in the quarter. So the Knicks lead 31-22 after 1.
Now it started your own business in the first place.
You obviously have to love what you're doing.
2 weeks only, January 17th through the 29th. Jesus Christ Superstar at the Paramount at Madison Square Garden. Call Ticketmaster 212-307-7171.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by Toyota. I love what you do for me, Toyota. And by Kane Weber. We believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships.
A moment ago, we were discussing the poor attitude of Derek Coleman in regard to missing practices. 2 weeks ago, you may recall, Kenny Anderson had missed a practice involved in that head game battle with Butch Beard, and Derek Coleman was asked his opinion about Anderson missing practice, and this was his response.
Where were all you guys when Dwayne Simpson's missed practice? Or what was all you guys when Jason Williams missed practice?
But Kenny's a franchise player.
Whoop-de-damn-do.
He's one of the leaders of his team.
And?
Simpson is not.
So what?
So
he's a part of the team, right, Dwayne?
But he doesn't.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying
just because Dwayne misses practice, it doesn't affect all of us? When Kenny misses practice, it does?
If he doesn't tell the coach, you don't think that's a
no, I don't think so.
Guy showing leadership?
I don't think so.
We thought he was.
You know, arrogance can be so positive when it's on the court, but off the court, it can be so destructive. And I believe that's what Derek brings to his team off the court, and we just saw a prime example of it.
As the second quarter gets underway, Coleman is fouled. Well, you look back, whatever the sport, basketball, for example, the great ones, the winners, just don't have that attitude, no matter how good the player is. Michael Jordan, for example, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, always there. Take a look at this. Derek, according to Derek, takes care of Derek. All the stuff about practice, some guys are only practice players, and then in a game they just freeze up. You know, what does that tell you about leadership qualities?
There is none. other than the fact that he's a great basketball player. And it's an example, really, Marv, of that's not enough for a team sometimes. He's a prime example of that.
Knicks with an 8-point lead. Patrick Ewing is back on the floor. Ewing blocked by Coleman.
What a difficult position for a rookie coach like Butch Beard.
Found one of the travel on Jason Williams. Here is Williams. And handled by Mason. Nice move. Whipping by Anderson. Hubert Davis. And he is fouled. Fouled by Kenny Anderson. The Knicks ended the first quarter with an 11-3 spurt. Good shooting first quarter for the Knicks. 13 of 25. The Nets 7 of 19. And Davis will go to the line. So Hubert fouled by Kenny Anderson, and he missed on his first attempt.
Some skills demonstrated again of Anthony Mason getting that ball up court.
The Knicks 32 and the Nets 23. Here at the Garden, the Knicks have won 16 of the last 19 against the Nets. Sleepy Floyd over Hubert Davis, but the Nets have won 2 of the last 3 meetings, including the earlier game here this season that was back on the 20th of December. Mason, and it's rebounded by Williams.
That's exactly the shot he's got to own. He's getting better at it, but we don't see it very often.
Oh, what a move by Floyd around Davis. Sleepy Floyd cuts it to a 5-point Knick lead. And the Knick shooting has dropped off. Armin Gilliam pulls it down.
Ewing has to get all warmed up again now after sitting out several minutes of the first quarter.
Knicks have led by as many as 10 and now by 5. Starks for 3. So the Knicks, after missing their first 4 shots of the second quarter, able to knock one down. John Starks with his first field goal. And the Knicks have an 8-point advantage. Nice play by Anderson. The layup missed, however, by Williams. 3-on-2. Davis. It's 2-point range. Rebounded by Coleman.
So amazing how players will miss wide open shots. It's almost a distraction to have all that freedom.
And Gilliam run into by Bonner. So that is the first on Bonner. Rick Mahorn getting set to come on. Rick Mahorn had a very strong game Saturday against Minnesota. 18 minutes. 3 out of 7 from the field. 9 points. Rick getting the playing time because of the absence of Benoit Benjamin. So here's Mahorn for Coleman. And Derek Coleman with a terrific first half. 16 points. 4 out of 8 from the field. 7 of 9 from the line.
Mahorn has only been playing an average of 8 minutes a game for the Nets, but he's always dangerous around the basket.
Ewing. Patrick Ewing getting the position against Jason Williams. And the Knicks now lead 37-28. 8 points for Ewing. Well, Rick Mahorn showing the outside touch and enjoyed it.
Yeah, he looks a little spry out there despite his heavy weight.
37-30 Knicks. Hubert Davis.
They don't have any shot blocking under the Nets defensive basket. Jason Williams so concerned with Ewing, and Mahorn will not block shots.
Timeout taken by the Nets.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised at how effective Bowflex really is. If you want to see the easiest, most effective way of exercising at home, you need to see this video. It's absolutely free, so call for yours right now.
Well, after this game, the Knicks will hit the road. We'll take a look at our Delta Airlines upcoming Knicks schedule. Thursday, the Knicks return to Houston. Knicks game night, 7:30 p.m. Friday, the Knicks at Dallas. Knicks game night at 8. That's an MSG2 game. And Sunday, the Knicks will be at Miami with Knicks game night starting at 7 p.m.
There's Pat Riley and the Knicks making it back to Houston. That is where the Knicks season ended last year in Game 7 of the NBA Finals Series. You have to wonder what is going through the head of John Starks, or what will go through his head as he makes his return after the very difficult game that he had, finishing the NBA Finals and taking a brunt of the responsibility for the poor shooting. Armin Gilliam with a nice move, and the Knicks now with a 39-32 lead. You wonder which way it'll go for John Starks in his first game back.
I think I know. I think he'll focus on the game before. And he almost took credit for winning the championship for the Knicks.
Patrick Ewing with a nice move. And the Knicks now lead 41-32.
Say that tritely, but really you can think where he would think about the positives. It wasn't all bad for John. People always remember the last very end, but he had some fine moments there too.
He had a terrific game in game number 6. Here's Gilliam again. And remember, had a shot to win it. Hakeem Olajuwon getting a piece of that last shot. Knicks by 7. Davis for 3. And now change to a 2. He was out of the line. Good setup from Starks. And the Knicks now lead 43-34. Sleepy Floyd now in the backcourt with the rookie Chris Childs. This is Childs with it, guarded by Starks. And Bonner battling with Gilliam is called for the foul. Wayne Schultzes checking in for the first time. A man who has not played much this year, a man who is asked to be traded. The Nets have said that there has not been much interest in Wayne Schultzes. And speculation perhaps the Utah Jazz now, what with the injury suffered by Felton Spencer, would be interested in Wayne Schultzes.
All of a sudden he could be very, very attractive for Utah.
It's Floyd and Ewing with the rebound.
Schultzes has skills.
Good shooter, good passer.
Boy, CP. 7-2.
6.5 remaining in this first half. Now Mahorn guarding Mason.
What a battle, what a battle. Mahorn leaning on Mason with his chest.
Shot clock was running down, so Ewing had to unleash. Mahorn sets the pick. Childs from way downtown. Mason for Starks. Mason gets to it. That ball jammed for just an instant. And a foul is called against the Nets. It's on Schultzes. Derek Coleman returning, replacing Armin Gilliam. Gilliam leads with 5 points. Ewing now guarded by Schultzes. Ewing goes right at him. It counts, and the foul. So Dwayne Schultzes commits his second, and Patrick Ewing to the line. The Knicks with their biggest lead of the game, a margin of 11.
Now, Schultzes should get a piece of that shot because Ewing takes it right to him with his right hand turning into him, but the quick execution by Patrick gets it done, and the Knicks are shooting the ball very well here in the first half, and that is the difference. Against Utah, it was a 40% from the field game, but when that ball's going in, it takes so much pressure off.
Ewing with 11 points. Now the matchup is Mason against Coleman. Air ball thrown up by Coleman. Good save by Mahorn. And there will be New Jersey in possession with 5 on the shot clock. Butch Beard reminding his club only 5 seconds on the 24. Down to 1. And Mahorn able to get to it. The Knicks with a 12-point lead as we come up on 5 minutes left in the first half. Ewing. The Knicks extend to a 14-point bulge, and the Nets want to talk it over.
Rangers are back in action as they battle the Buffalo Sabres from the Garden. Friday night, right here on MSG. Serious New York sports fans want their sports news straightforward and up to the minute. That's why millions of fans find just what they're looking for with MSG Sports Desk. News, views, scores, highlights, with a team of pros to bring you all the latest. Gus Johnson, Mike Crispino, Mike Quick with area high school sports, and the always straight-shooting Bob Page. Get the real deal every night with the New York sports leader, MSG Sports Desk. Only on MSG Network, the best in the game.
Butch Beard said we can't start out slowly against the Knicks, so we'll be in trouble. There's a Perry Ellis look, though, at the hustle of Chris Childs on the floor. What a nice recovery he made. See Gilliam working his way to the basket with a beautiful soft hook shot. That's their hustling, but the Knicks are shooting the ball very well with a lot of balance out there.
Kenny Anderson, Rex Walters, P.J. Brown. Ball checked back in. The Knicks with a 14-point lead. Shot clock is down to 4. Walters.
I'll tell you, Coleman knows that he's got somebody on him. Mason all over him just at that end of the pass, at the end of the last sequence, boxing him out, playing him tough.
Mason has done a nice job. He has 7 rebounds. Off the triple pump, came up short. Mason knocked it away from Coleman, taken by Smith, who just made his return, and a foul against the Nets. Foul committed by Jason Williams. That is his second.
Nice recovery by Smith off a rare forced shot by Anthony Mason. Smith has been a very active participant here in the first half.
The Knicks with a 7-0 run to take this 14-point lead. Ewing, yes. Well, Patrick Ewing went out early after picking up 2 fouls. Since he has come on, he has dominated. 14 points for Ewing, and the Knicks lead 50-34. The Nets have missed their last 6 shots. Coleman lost it.
He banged up against Mason, who's willing to bang with him. Mason's drooling now with P.J. Brown, much thinner.
Smith for three. Been a very quiet game for Kenny Anderson.
Means that Derek Harper has him very much under control.
Walters. That was a three-point attempt, rebounded by Coleman. Illegal defense call for the second time against the Knicks, so a technical foul is awarded, and Kenny Anderson will shoot the tee.
Well, with a superstar player like Coleman, you will have a lot of illegal defenses called because the man matched up against Coleman needs help at all times, and you'll always have a man illegal. Now you see Harper's foot is below the foul line and his man is above the circle. That's illegal. They also might have gotten another Knick player in the lane too far away from guarding his man.
Rex Walters with his second field goal. He has 4 points. Rex Walters in his second year out of Kansas cuts it to a 13-point Knick lead. Mason was trying to give it up. Last touched by Jason Williams. John, there's been talk again about the possibility of the Nets changing the nickname. Remember last year it counts in the foul. Patrick Ewing is on fire. Jason Williams picks up his third, and Ewing to the line for another potential three-point play. There's Rick Mahorn coming on for Jason Williams.
Nice movement with that pass to Ewing, who really has the touch. When you make shots like that, you know you're feeling the ball beautifully.
Last year there was talk of the Nets, as they put it, for marketing purposes, changing to Swamp Dragons, and there was serious talk about it. And now they're saying they may change to the Fire Dragons. I don't know if this is an omen for the Nets. Anderson with a nice move to set up Brown. And the Knicks back to the offense. Hubert Davis. So with 2:20 to go in this first half, the Knicks lead by 15. You know, the last time an NBA team changed its name and stayed as Rex Walters was able to hit, it stayed in the same city, was when the Chicago Zephyrs transformed into the Chicago Packers for the 62-63 season, and the franchise folded the following year. Not that I'm suggesting anything.
That won't happen.
Timeout is called. We'll be right back. Chicago Packers for the 62-63 season, and the franchise folded the following year. Not that I'm suggesting anything.
That won't happen.
Timeout is called. We'll be right back. Transformed into the Chicago Packers for the 62-63 season, and the franchise folded the following year. Not that I'm suggesting anything.
That won't happen.
Timeout is called. We'll be right back.
Dear Carl.
And you'll see how hair can make you look and feel your best.
Well, this Friday at 7:30, following game night, the Rangers back in action and ready to raise the Stanley Cup Championship banner at their home opener against the Buffalo Sabres. That'll be Friday, 7:30 here on the MSG Network. There is Ranger General Manager Neil Smith, obviously just enthralled with the action here. Neil reacquainting himself with a live sports event for a long time.
And with the building.
Although I must say Neil was on hand for that 7th and final game in Houston at the NBA Finals last year. Did go through a preseason with the Rangers this year. Will it count? Yes, it will. Again, Ewing just beat the 24 and was fouled by Mahorn. And once again to the line looking for a three-point play.
Well, if you turn the pages back a month, 2 months, imagine seeing a move like this from Patrick. I mean, he has come a long way. He is so fluid and confident now in his shooting.
The Knicks 55 and the Nets 39. Minute 35 remaining in the first half. Patrick Ewing with 20 points. Here's Coleman. Try to split through. Rebound Smith. Handled nicely by Starks. Leading to the break. Starks for three. Yes! Oh, the Knicks are so sharp in this first half. And now lead 58 to 39. The Knicks are shooting 52% from the field.
And that means very rarely are the Nets getting a fast break opportunity, which certainly takes away from Kenny Anderson's game.
Coleman just did get a piece of the rim, and here's it from the crowd.
You know, also, Marv, the rebounding. The Knicks are not allowing offensive rebounding by New Jersey, an area where the Knicks have been hurt a lot by them in the past.
Starks for three. Air ball. Anderson sweeping by Ewing, who did not want to pick up his third foul.
What a thing of beauty that move was by Kenny Anderson.
Only 5 points for Anderson in this first half. Just under 30 seconds remaining in the half. And the Knicks lead by 17. Ewing getting position on Mahorn. Ewing, yes. Patrick Ewing, 9 for 13. He has 22 points.
Boy, Rick is beating on him, but Patrick is escaping him, it seems, every time.
Final seconds of the half, and Mason is fouled. Coleman called for his second. And the Nets over the limit. So with 2 3/10 seconds to go, first half, Anthony Mason to the line. Coming up at halftime, Dr. Martin Luther King, remembered by NBA people. And Al and Walt will take a look back at the highlights in this first half. Anthony Mason back on December 20th against the Nets here at the Garden. Did not do it offensively. That'll do it for this first half. But Mason here tonight, 10 points and 8 rebounds in the first half. All Knicks at halftime. They lead the Nets 62 to 41. We'll be back here at Madison Square Garden in just a moment.
It is a celebration.
Whether we had what it takes to win, if we were meant to win, if our destiny was to win, and just giving their complete soul to the game, to savor that feeling of being a champion. Starter. What do you need to be the best? Everything you got.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
The Knicks in great position to set themselves up perfectly for Thursday night's big encounter down in Houston with the Rockets. Only 1 turnover, and they lead the Nets of New Jersey by 21. This, of course, is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. This is why we have off and why we're here at Madison Square Garden. But it's more than just a reason to have a day off. It's a reason for many people who know basketball and are in the NBA to remember the man and the tragedy of his death.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up
meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
His legacy is one that, to me, I think about the races and getting along with other people. I also think about my grandmother who, like me, grew up under the oppression of segregation. So she preached some of the same virtues that Martin Luther King did. Like, if you don't have anything good to say about a person, don't say anything. And that was Martin's belief as well. Never look down upon a man unless you're helping him to get up. If you want to get a man off your back, stand up. So I thought he was one of the catalysts for the black race as well as for mankind.
Martin Luther King was at the forefront of leading the charge to attain our rights as just citizens, as just any other citizen would have. And I admired him for that. Met him one time in an airport. He was gracious enough to give us autographs and things of that nature. We were in college at the time, and encouraged us to stay strong, stay in school, get an education if that was the key.
I think it's a combination of things. One, that a vision of America the way it can be and the possibility, and I think really that's the greatest emphasis for myself.
What I really admired about him is that he stood for peace, and he stood for peace during a period when it was very difficult to stand for peace. And, you know, he believed in equality and he fought for it, but he fought for it a certain way, and that was a peaceful way. And I admire him for that.
Well, I think it means basically the same to most people. I think Martin Luther King stood for freedom for not just black people, but for everyone. And for everyone to have freedom, I think, is what life is all about.
I personally am happy to know, had a chance to live in the era that he was here, because I think he was a tremendous personality. He was a guy who gave us a lot of hope, a lot of belief. He made America a better place to live for everybody, not just for blacks, but for everybody, all Americans, and that's what he was about. He was a nonviolent person.
I think he evoked in me a sort of attitude that I can do pretty much anything that I want to do if I put my mind to it. And I think it's the same thing we said about Malcolm X and some other activists back in the 60s. And I think just living from day to day is pretty much what he stood for. You know, his moral standpoint on a lot of different issues really made a great deal to me too, I think, because nowadays, morally, our country is really taking a step backwards. And I always reflect on some of the things that he was about and some of the things that he said, and it really made my life a lot better.
Back then, there was a lot of violence going on against black people, and he didn't believe in violence. He preached that, and he also followed that. A lot of people followed him, and he got a lot of things accomplished. He made a lot of people stand up and take notice. Violence, a lot of times, don't settle anything, and that's what he meant.
Martin Luther King, truly a great American, an American leader, a man who believed in change through nonviolence, a man who believed in equal rights for all. He gave his life so that he might achieve those goals, and he will forever and ever, I think, be regarded as a great American hero.
Free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty! We are free at last!
Hi, everybody. Bob Page with a live update from our Sports Desk studios here at the Garden. Besides the Knicks-Nets game you're watching, there were several other Martin Luther King holiday matinees in the NBA. In the true spirit of the holiday, the Chicago Bulls took the afternoon off and lost to the Bullets at Landover, embarrassing, 109-101. With such injured players as Chris Webber and Don McClain still out, Bullets had lost 10 straight coming into this one. Scottie Pippen had 21 points, 10 rebounds in a losing cause, including that unorthodox hook shot. Calbert Chaney scored 15 of his 23 points in the fourth quarter, including this big shot at crunch time to pace the Bullets. B.J. Armstrong had 26 points to pace Chicago, whom Coach Phil Jackson said was selfish afterwards. At Oakland this afternoon, Gene Little, speaking of coaches, making his debut as Golden State's new head man one day after Dan Issel's surprise resignation. Tremendous circus shot by Latrell Sprewell. He finished with 19 points. Don Nelson reportedly feuding with Sprewell's these days, but the play of his all-star guard helped lift the Warriors to a 77-73 victory, the fewest points Denver has ever scored since joining the NBA. Long Islander Tom Gugliotta hit a big three-point shot in the final minute to help ice it for the Warriors. Also this afternoon, the Lakers beat the Clippers. That's 6 straight losses for the Clippers. Utah playing against Indiana tonight in overtime. How about the Jazz? They win again by 1 point. while Houston is playing at Minnesota, that one in the second quarter. This afternoon, Detroit handed Philadelphia its 9th straight loss, and Atlanta down Miami 99-95. Ex-net Mookie Blaylock, 20 points, 10 assists. More after this.
Sports Desk is brought to you by Alamo. There are over 4 million miles of road in Alamo territory, and with Alamo, all those miles are free.
Nowadays,
UConn.
Basketball today in front of the 98th sellout consecutively. We turn to the leading scorer summary brought to you by Eagle. Test drive an Eagle at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer or call 1-800-2-TEST-EAGLE. Knicks leading it big by 21, and Patrick Ewing has 22. He's been sensational with 6 rebounds and a block shot, shooting 9 of 13. Anthony Mason giving the Knicks 8 rebounds and 8 points off the bench. Derek Harper's got 8. Charles Smith has 7. As for the story of the New Jersey Nets, it's Derek Coleman with 16 points, but he's shooting 4 of 11 and down 21. So what does it matter? Rex Walter 6, Armin Gilliam 5, with Kenny Anderson 5. I'll go over the highlights with Walt Clyde Frazier when we bring you back live to Madison Square Garden in a moment.
It is a celebration.
Ready?
Knicks up big as we welcome you back inside the main arena here at MSG. 62-41. Al Troutwig with Walt Clyde Frazier wearing a bad outfit today, Clyde. That's pretty sharp looking. As sharp perhaps as the Knicks were. Almost perfect in the first half.
Yeah, the Knicks had the perfect balance, good harmony on the offense, adhesion on the defense. Patrick Ewing has been magnificent.
Yeah, he's the name. He's the man who saw us in the highlights, which, as always, are brought to you by Minolta 700 SI camera. Minolta, the official camera of the Garden. Clyde, they've been falling off the glass from outside and from inside everywhere.
Benjamin not here this afternoon, so Ewing has been able to capitalize on the low post. Right here, spinning away with a nice jumper.
You might as well keep going because this play is about Patrick Ewing, too.
So more Ewing doings. This time he's on the other side. Jason Williams, 6'10", 240, but no match for Ewing. And watch the strong side. No one is helping out as he hoops off the glass.
Last time the Knicks played the Nets, Anthony Mason, 31 minutes, no points, only a rebound. But when they need strength and muscle in the absence of Oakley, he's given it to him.
And that's his forte, hustle and muscle. 6'7", 250, working his way inside.
Well, Clyde, as what you normally tell us, being a nocturnal creature, you're able to still peak here in the afternoon, and we're proud of that. Be good on the radio.
All right, Al.
We'll be back with Marvin John's call of the second half. Knicks up big over New Jersey. Back in a moment.
Serious New York sports fans want their sports news straightforward and up to the minute. That's why millions of fans find just what they're looking for with MSG Sports Desk. News, views, scores, highlights, with a team of pros to bring you all the latest. Gus Johnson, Mike Crispino, Mike Quick with area high school sports, and the always straight-shooting Bob Page. Get the real deal every night with the New York sports leader, MSG Sports Desk. Only on MSG Network, the best in the game.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by the United States Postal Service. We deliver smart solutions for you. By MetLife. Get Met. It pays. And by Mobile, helping you move faster with mobile pay at the pump.
Back at Madison Square Garden on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. A celebration of basketball as well, which began in 1987. So did the Knicks donations to the United Negro College Fund. Knicks president Dave Checkett's there with Anthony Mason, Herb Williams, Ernie Grunfeld. The Knicks presenting a check for $10,000 to commemorate the memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That's just moments ago. Sandra Owens, Area Development Director for UNCF, here to accept that check from the New York Knicks. Getting set for the second half. Knicks up big. Let's go to Marvin John.
All right, Al, and a check of the halftime statistics. 35% from the floor for the Nets, only 15 of 43, while the Knicks 25 of 48, 52% shooting. Knicks doing it from downtown. They hit 4 of 8. And look at that, 17 assists for the Knicks in the first half, only 1 turnover. And that has been it. In the Toyota matchup, Patrick Ewing, 22 points. Jason Williams matched up with Ewing most of the first half with only 3. Jason Williams in the past has had some strong games against the Knicks. And remember, Ewing went down early because of 2 fouls, so he sat on the bench and then came on and was on fire. 9 of 13 from the field for his 22. Rex Walters drawing the foul. Takes the push from John Starks.
The difference now for the Nets in dealing with Ewing is that he has come up several notches since the earlier games. Once again, without training camp, didn't play this summer. It's taken Patrick a while, but he's in stride, major stride now. And the Nets are forced now to deal with him really without a proper matchup. Benoit Benjamin is out. At least he has the size to bother Patrick, although you might remember in the last game here at the Garden, Benoit was ejected early in that game, and they didn't have the benefit of his services as a result, which it turned out they didn't need because Gilliam had such a monster game as the Nets beat the Knicks here.
That was the game that saw Patrick Ewing missing a potential game-tying free throw with 7 seconds left. Starks for 3. And the rebound handled by Jason Williams. And then the Knicks won at the Meadowlands December 27th by the score of 99-91. So they have split their first 2 meetings.
Bad sign. The Nets want to get back into it, and Kenny Anderson, their lead man, comes down court and pumps up a long jump shot right away.
Now Coleman is guarding Ewing. Nice pass from Ewing. Monty Williams, the recipient of that pass, and fouled by Kenny Anderson.
Looked like a good play by Kenny Anderson, but it was done so aggressively. I think sometimes that might distract an official into a call favoring the offensive player.
For Anderson, his 3rd foul. Monty Williams 3 for 3 from the field. He has 6 points. First appearance at the foul line. Monty, a 69% free throw shooter. Derek Coleman is the only net in double figures, 16 points, but 15 of the 16 coming in the first quarter. Anderson and Walters in the backcourt. Coleman with Williams and Brown up front. And it will be Nick Ball.
Remarkably, Kenny Anderson, who played 21 minutes in the first half, the same number of minutes as Derek Coleman, only took 4 shots and had 5 assists. He's got to step it up.
The Knicks opening this 3rd quarter with Hopper and Starks at the guards. Ewing, Smith, and Williams up front. Smith getting good position. And then is blocked by P.J. Brown. The Nets going with the double team. And they are able to stifle Charles Smith. Here's Derek Coleman. Well, we've gone 2 minutes in this 3rd quarter and have seen only 2 points scored by the combination of the Knicks and the Nets. Jason Williams. The Knicks lead 62-43. Smith able to save the dribble. Charles again putting the move on Derek Coleman and draws the foul.
As long as Charles keeps his body between the ball and Coleman, he's going to get that shot up, and because of his aggressiveness in going toward the basket, draws the foul from Derek Coleman.
That's 3 on Coleman. And Charles Smith to the line. He's 1 for 1 from the foul line.
One of the keys certainly to the game so far is the play of Derek Harper on Kenny Anderson. Kenny is just not that noticeable in the Nets attack here today, and the reason why is the conscious effort that Derek Harper is making and staying in front of Kenny Anderson. That's the difficult part of a man who can move this quickly.
Well, the Knicks have missed all 4 free throws in this third quarter. Here's Coleman. Both clubs having their problems. Monty Williams with a beautiful move. Coleman was eyeing the 3. Oh! And a loose ball foul is called. It's on Charles Smith. Well, we played almost 3 minutes of the third quarter, and the result, 2 points by the Nets. That's been it.
Rare to see Coleman miss a shot like the last one. He's such a good shooter.
Stepped out of bounds. So the ball back to New York. We are not seeing sparkling basketball here at the start of the third quarter. The Nets 0 for 6 from the field, and the Knicks missing their 3 shot attempts. Ewing. Yes. And for the Knicks, their first points of the second half.
Knicks are sharing the ball beautifully.
Comes back to Jason Williams, and he's called for steps. So the ball goes back to the Knicks. Upcoming for the Knicks, a 3-game road trip. Difficult mini swing of Texas. They played at San Antonio earlier this season, but they face the defending NBA champion Houston Rockets Thursday night in Houston. Friday night, they go up against the improved Dallas Mavericks. And then Sunday, they play at Miami. The Knicks have lost their last 5 straight regular season games at the Summit in Houston. Harper for 3. Well, the Knicks extend to a 67-43 lead.
Harper likes to work the crowd, too. Gives one of his fans courtside a wink after he hit that shot.
I believe that was meant for you, John.
This free video shows you how Bowflex lets you outperform Nordic Flex and SoloFlex. Call for yours right now. You need to see this free video. Bowflex lets me perform the strength aerobic workout I want in 20 minutes. It's quick, it's easy, and it makes my body feel incredible. There's simply nothing else like it. You can change the amount of weight you're using by adding more power rods. The cable pulley system accommodates 64 different lifetime warranty. If you're like me, and at first you looked at machines like SoloFlex and Nordic Flex, you've got to see what Bowflex can do for you. It simply produces results. Call right now for this free 15-minute video. It will show you exactly how Bowflex will let you outperform SoloFlex and Nordic Flex. You'll be surprised at how effective Bowflex really is. If you want to see the easiest, most effective way of exercising at home, you need to see this video. It's absolutely free, so call for yours right now.
Do you know why there are almost 3 million Ford Taurus owners on the road today? Because every year it continues to improve. And this year is no exception with the Taurus SE. With an optional rear spoiler, better ride and handling, and of course front-wheel drive and a V6, this Taurus is better than ever.
Now, your Tri-State Quality Ford dealer can save you $1,795 on a fully loaded Ford Taurus SE.
Ford Taurus, #1 and better than ever. See your Ford dealer today.
MCS Cannon, let us show you the possibilities. Now it's time for the MCS Cannon Great Teamwork Play. The Knicks are excelling today at moving that basketball, sharing it, spreading the court. See how that offense is spread out, so it makes it very difficult for the defense to keep things tight on the Knicks. This is exemplary ball movement by the Knicks. Derek Harper to Ewing, who has no pressure on him when he shoots that basketball. I think in the post-game press conference, Marv, if this continues, Pat Riley will be speechless.
Not much to criticize except for perhaps some missed shots early third quarter. Foul is called. Hard drive by Anderson. Monty Williams committing the foul. Even with the Knicks missing a slew of shots early third, the setups were very nicely done. They're all good shots. And the Knicks have a huge lead. It's now 67-44. A 15-5 run by the Knicks that carries back to the latter portion of the second quarter.
It isn't very often that you can say about a team that the misses look good too. This seems to be one of those days for the Knicks.
You just illustrated ball movement, excellent, very sharp, right from the start. They reeled off 11 straight points in the first quarter. Reach-in foul against the Nets. It's on P.J. Brown. That is his first. The Knicks bouncing back from the loss to the Utah Jazz on Saturday night. They had won 8 straight prior to that defeat. The Nets have won their last 2 games against Philadelphia and Minnesota. Ewing. Anderson. Anderson all the way.
But did you see how Harper sat on his left hand at the end of that shot? Harper was all over Anderson's left hand and made him pull away from the basket that much more, and that made the shot so difficult. What an expert defender Harper is. What an example of that.
And a loose ball foul on Jason Williams. His 4th personal, so he is replaced by Rick Mahorn. Rick Mahorn now matched with Patrick Ewing. Nice pass from Ewing. Monty Williams. So Monty is 4 of 5 for 8 points to match his NBA career high. Ewing able to break it up. And Harper run into and foul. Foul committed by Anderson.
Harper signaling over to Ewing. You can see them slapping hands there. Ewing knew that Harper was trying to set him up. Harper was coming down the court, fading right. He knew he had Ewing running hard on the left. And before he could throw him that hook pass, Kenny Anderson fouled Harper. And still, Ewing and Harper kind of met at the foul line to acknowledge what they had hoped would happen.
Solid all-around game for Derek Harper. We've been talking about the fine defensive job that he's done against Kenny Anderson. And offensively, Harper with 12 points. Derek says his knee is okay. He had bumped it in practice last Thursday. Affected him in Friday's Milwaukee game, but says he's all right.
He kept it a secret, though. Just leaked out.
The Knicks 71 and the Nets 45. John Starks injured his left shoulder on Saturday night in the game against Utah. He says he's all right. He did take x-rays, but they came up negative, showing no tear, no bone chip. Coleman's 3-point attempt blocked by Smith. And a loose ball foul on P.J. Brown.
There is no mesh at all, as very calm Pat Riley enjoys the second half. No mesh at all to the Nets offense. Anderson is constantly being stopped by the Knicks double teaming, which they always do, of guards. As he dribbles around top of the key, there's always a big man coming out to help out Harper. Goes to Coleman, and he just kind of stares until he can find his shot. And Brown and the other players, Rick Mahorn, Sleepy Floyd, are just not part of the offense.
Monty Williams hits his first free throw after missing 3 straight. The Knicks 72 and the Nets 45. 6:15 left in the third quarter. Marv Albert, John Andres, Al Troutler from the guard. Coleman keeping it alive. He has been silent since the first quarter. 15 of his 16 points in that opening quarter. Brown. Offers pass deflected, broken up.
Angry at himself because he missed Starks when he was open initially.
Ewing with the open shot. The Nets 0 for 11 from the field here in the third quarter. And a foul call. Charles Smith called for his fourth. And Kenny Anderson to the line.
Kenny now in his fourth year in the NBA, not shooting the ball that well from the field at all with his assorted injuries and setbacks along the way. He's only shooting at barely shooting 41%. Oddly enough, is the same percentage that Derek Coleman is shooting at. So the top two scorers are 41% from the field, which is poor shooting.
Mention the injuries. Anderson still not right after that offseason wrist surgery. The wrist injured. The result of that blatant foul by John Starks. That was back in February of '93. He has shown flashes, as he did Friday night against Philadelphia, where he scored 40 points. Mahorn called for the foul, his second. The Nets are over the limit, and Ewing will go to the line.
What's happened today for the Knicks, they've gotten their offense back in balance big time. This man, their lead player, is the focus of the offense. That's the way they want it to be all the time. They felt with all the emphasis on three-point shooting of late, particularly against Utah the other day, that they were depending too much on that. In fact, the Knicks' field goal attempts against Utah was such, Marv, that they took 37% of their field goal attempts with threes. And with that in mind, despite the good percentage that they were making, they want to get back to Ewing, and that's what's happened.
7-14 without a field goal for the New Jersey Nets. Their last field goal, 35 seconds remaining in the second quarter. It has been a brutal third quarter for New Jersey. Basket won't count. Illegal defense called against the Knicks. That is their third violation. So Anderson will shoot the tee. The Nets with only 5 points in this third quarter, all from the free throw line. And the Knicks now lead 74-46.
Nets are in that position when you're getting stomped. What happens from a human standpoint is no one's talking to each other. There's no unity out there. They just have no enthusiasm in their attack. Very hard to manufacture it when you're down so.
Anderson, and that is their first field goal of this third quarter. The Knicks 74 and the Nets 49. So the Nets go 7 minutes and 46 seconds without a field goal. Mahorn called for that pushing foul. Nets over the limit. And Ewing back to the line.
You know, Marv, in many ways, I would think the man we're looking at now, Butch Beard, would be more comfortable sitting where I'm sitting right now as your old broadcast partner.
Well, let's not get crazy now here, Jim. Are you making a suggestion, perhaps?
I don't want his job, no.
I wasn't quite looking at it the same pattern.
I see.
But very quick on your part. Well, Butch wanted to be a head coach. Spent time as the head coach at Howard University, and it's very difficult, although he knew what was in store, difficult to turn down an NBA opportunity. But I'm certain there are some nights where he is thinking perhaps there is a better way to earn a living.
Well, it was nice to see in his behalf David Gerstein, the vice chairman of the board of directors of the Nets, giving him a vote of confidence the other day. As he did the future of Derek Coleman and Kenny Anderson, as the ownership wants to project a little more solidity, depending based on a lot of the rumors you hear naturally when a team isn't going well.
Mahorn, and he is fouled. Here comes Hubert Davis. It's now over the foul limit. Davis for Starks. John Starks only 2 of 8, 6 points. John, the other point of view, if you are one of the co-owners of the Nets and you're asked about the coach's future and the future of a couple of guys that have been controversial, Derek Coleman and Kenny Anderson, what else are you going to say? You have to say, hey, they're going to be here with us, yes, and call me a liar next year when you make a change.
Right,
well,
absolutely.
Right, what are you going to say?
But at least there was something, because there are a number of principals involved in the ownership of this team, and you never quite know who's who, or who is the person, who's the button pusher. At least Gerstein came out and made a statement and gave off a sense of continuity in management, even though, as we know in sports, things do change a month later.
David Gerstein is the vice chairman of the board of directors of the New Jersey Nets. The Knicks with a 74-51 lead on the Nets with just under 4 minutes to go. Third quarter. Mahorn trying to draw the charging foul. Here's Davis for 3. Gilbert Davis from downtown. He has 8 points. And the Knicks now lead 77-51, and the Knicks have hit 6 of 11 from three-point range. Anderson was hit. Kenny Anderson moving into the traffic and was fouled by Patrick Ewing. That is his 4th.
Ewing's mystified because the thud came at him. The problem is the official sees Ewing moving ever so slightly, and as long as he's moving when that offensive player hits him, why, the foul goes his way.
Crowd reacts because Greg Kite jumps off the bench, and he'll come on for Patrick Ewing. Crowd always anxious to take a look at people they have not seen much of. Kite not played the last 3 games. The one-game action as a member of the Knicks against the Minnesota Timberwolves back on January the 8th. And it could be interesting to see Greg Kite and Rick Mahorn matched up.
They believe in the same style of basketball.
Yes. The Knicks 77 and the Nets 53. Hopper for 3. Rebounded by Coleman. Gilliam, crowd looking for the travel. The Knicks lead by 22 points. We are down to 2:45 remaining third quarter, and we are approaching extensive garbage time. Davis. Mahorn. Fouled by Mason. And a timeout taken by the Knicks with 2:36 left, third quarter.
Rangers are back in action as they battle the Buffalo Sabres from the Garden. Friday night, right here on MSG. Serious New York sports fans want their sports news straightforward and up to the minute. That's why millions of fans find just what they're looking for with MSG Sports Desk. News, views, scores, highlights, with a team of pros to bring you all the latest. Gus Johnson, Mike Crispino, Mike Quick with area high school sports, and the always straight-shooting Bob Page. Get the real deal every night with the New York sports leader, MSG Sports Desk. Only on MSG Network, the best in the game.
Attention Rangers single game ticket holders. Tickets for games on dates that have been canceled may now be exchanged at the Garden box office. Exchanges are subject to availability. For further information, call 212-465-MSG1.
Well, Derek Harper, a major reason the Knicks have accounted for 21 assists. He has had a terrific all-around ball game. 5 assists for Harper, who has done an excellent job against Kenny Anderson. Has also scored 13 points. He's hit 3 of 4 from downtown. The Knicks 77 and the Nets 57 with 2.5 remaining in the third quarter. Mason for the fadeaway. That's that step back move by Anthony Mason. And a good one against Derek Coleman. Mason with 10 points and 10 rebounds. Nolan Fine blowing the whistle and a foul against the Knicks. A hand check call on Mason. Coleman was angling for position. Both teams are now over the foul limit.
The officials seem to always demonstrate so the players and fans will know what the foul is. With that contact below the foul line, if the defensive man puts his arm straight out into the offensive player, that will be called a foul.
Coleman is 8 for 10 at the line. So the Knicks now lead 79-59. And for Coleman, his first points in the second half. And the call against Floyd, holding foul as Davis tried to come off the screen. So Hubert Davis to the line. He's 1 for 2 at the free throw line. Hubert coming off another strong game Saturday night against Utah. 8 of 14, 20 points. Nick free throw shooting dropping off. 13 of 22 at the line for the Knicks.
Seems like a long time ago on December 20th when the Knicks and Nets went at it here at the Garden, and Knicks suffering their 3rd straight loss. That was a game, incidentally, that Greg Anthony, the forgotten man of the Knicks, had a big game. Greg in 22 minutes had 17 points, 6 out of 8 from the field. But he has been omitted from the Knicks, Pat Riley's plans now, as Pat has gone to a strict 3-guard rotation, and with the spectacular shooting of Hubert Davis, that has solidified Pat's thinking even more than ever.
Another illegal defense called on the Knicks. So the Knicks now lead 80-60. Brutal shooting by both teams here in the third, although the Knicks have maintained the sizable margin. Minute and a half remaining, third quarter.
Well, you don't see much multiple passing by the Nets before a shot in this game.
Well, the Nets with only 8 assists for the game. The Knicks not shooting well here in this third quarter. Floyd and Anderson now at the guards with Gilliam, Coleman, and Mahorn up front. Floyd not able to nail down that reverse. Crowd response as Greg Knight colored the rebound.
Nets have missed several shots around the basket in this game.
Harper.
Lefty, and clean, no backboard.
And Dan Crawford indicating apparently wanted to make an adjustment on the clock. So down to 40 seconds remaining in this third quarter. And the Knicks now lead by 22. Gilliam drawing the foul off the fake. Bonner went for it and is called for the personal. So Armin Gilliam to the line.
You know, Marv, looking ahead to Friday night, I'm thinking about Derek Harper returning to Dallas. It's good to see him in good form now, because you know when he gets back there, he wants to be at his best. And what a different Dallas team he's going to be facing now with the rookie Jason Kidd and the high-scoring Jimmy Jackson. He'll be matched up with those fellows, you know, a lot during that game. And that's going to be some challenge for Derek to be at his best.
Well, Greg Kite sitting down. Pat Riley doing some shuffling. And he goes to a 3-guard alignment with Starks, Harper, and Davis. Dallas Mavericks falling back recently. They're now 1 under 500 at 16-17, but they have been one of the surprise teams in this first half of the NBA season. Down to 10 seconds to go, third quarter. 5 on the shot clock. Here's Bonner. Anthony Bonner going at Derek Coleman.
Oh, did that feel good for Bonner?
Final seconds. Anderson drawing the foul. Not a foul the Knicks wanted to commit. It's on Harper with 1 3/10 seconds to go in this third quarter.
Harper deciding, making a decision. All of a sudden, a commitment was made by the defense, leaving Bonner open, and he got the ball. And the basket over the taller Derek Coleman.
So that's the end of the third quarter. The Knicks 84 and the Nets 63.
Stop doing those crazy diets. Just follow.
Use their Nordic Track regularly. So you make the choice. Hype, hot air, empty promises, or Nordic Track. Don't settle for less than America's best. Call now for your free video and brochure.
Who says clothes make the man? By looking at
your own.
January 17th through the 29th, Jesus Christ Superstar at the Paramount at Madison Square Garden. Call Ticketmaster 212-307-7171.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by Hertz. More business for pleasure. Nobody does it exactly like Hertz. And by the 1995 Mitsubishi Galant, filled with your favorite things.
Well, the Nets 29% from the field over the first 3 quarters. They were 2 for 16 in the third quarter. And for the season, yes, shooting blanks. Only the Clippers are worse in field goal percentage.
And it points to their main men, Marv, as you mentioned earlier. Anderson and Derek Coleman both at 41% from the field this year.
The Knicks did not exactly light it up in the third quarter, only 7 for 20. But they lead 84-63 as this fourth quarter gets started. Patrick Ewing is back. Anderson now in the backcourt with Chris Childs. Gilliam, Williams, and Coleman are up front. This is Childs. Chris Childs, an NBA rookie out of Boise State, spent the last 5 years in the CBA, last 2 with Quad City. Key member of the CBA championship Quad City team a year ago. Mason. This time dishes it back outside. 1 on the 24. Ewing just did get it off. Anderson, and he draws the foul. John Starks called for his third. The Nets scored only 13 points in the third quarter.
We are now witnessing a real challenge to professionalism on the part of both teams. The outcome of this game certainly in the hands of the Knicks, although stranger things have happened if a team goes dreadfully cold, but I don't see the spark in the Nets manufacturing a major comeback unless something crazy happens here. So can the Knicks keep their concentration and their full forceful effort going? Can the Nets play with enough pride and effectiveness to get back here?
These are dramatic questions that you're posing, John. Correction to my arithmetic. The Nets with 22 points in the third. The Knicks also with 22. Both clubs shooting poorly. Ewing, yes. So the Knicks lead 86-66.
Jason Williams knows there's nothing he can do about that jump hook shot.
Ewing with 28. Ewing's season high is 30, which he has hit on 4 separate occasions. Jason Williams. Rebound Derek Coleman, and he's fouled. Jason Williams 1 for 9 from the field. Anthony Bonner called for that foul. A loose ball foul, so the Nets will put it in play. 2 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Gilliam. And the Knicks now lead 86-68.
John Starks practicing the point guard skills that he's being asked to do more and more now.
Davis fouled by Anderson. That is number 5 on Anderson.
It's such a different thing when you are the man dribbling the ball over half court, looking to get your other 4 teammates going, as opposed to you being the man receiving the first pass, as he normally is with Derek Harper bringing the ball up. It's a whole different set of motions and thinking that you have to do. When you're the point guard, you have to be thinking of 4 other people. When you're the shooting guard, you got to be thinking about getting set to make a shot and to get a shot.
Anderson sitting down, replaced by Floyd. Anderson with 16 points, only 3 of 8 from the field, 10 of 13 at the line, 6 assists to Kenny Anderson. The Knicks lead by 20. Here's Floyd. Starks guarded by Childs. Bonner played by Gilliam. Bonner. And Bonner very fortunate. He'll get the 2 points on a goaltend, even though that shot was way off the mark. But it's a goaltend against the Nets. Other games this afternoon. In Landover, the Bullets by 2 over the Bulls in the fourth quarter, and the Sixers leading the Pistons 46-44. The Washington Bullets have lost 10 in a row. They're 7-26, last in the Atlantic Division. Here's Coleman off a double team. Derek Coleman is now 4 for 17. Ewing with the slam. And it leads to a Nets timeout.
It pays to assemble things and even repair them yourself, but you need the right tool. Pliers and crescent wrenches chew up nuts and bolts. Ordinary socket wrenches come apart. All can be murder on your knuckles. But here's the Link Dynamo, the only quick-release ratchet with the exclusive patented diagonal latching pin that automatically latches sockets and extensions until you decide to release them, no matter how many extensions you add. You can change sockets without ever handling them, and you can even use the sockets you already own. Say goodbye to bashed knuckles with the Dynamo's removable extender that keeps hands safely away from the work area. Motor Trend called the Dynamo one of the 10 most innovative car care products of the year. And Muscle Car Review said we tested just about every socket in our toolbox on the Dynamo, and not once did we lose a socket. The perfect tool for all repairs and assembling anything. Here's what you'd save on assembly of these items if you use the Dynamo. It's not available in stores, but by calling now, you can get the Dynamo all-purpose set. The Dynamo with its extender, a 6-inch Dynamo extension bar, 7 Link Industry sockets, plus this rugged metal box and custom containment tray, all for this special introductory price. Order now and you'll receive free a 4-piece screwdriver socket set, plus a 7-piece hex bit socket set, plus a 9-piece star bit socket set. Each works with the Dynamo. Order now and all 32 pieces will be on their way within 5 business days. 4 easy payments of only $29.95 plus shipping and handling. Call now and use your credit card. Try the Dynamo set risk-free for 30 days. If you're not completely satisfied, return them for your money back. Keep them and they're guaranteed for life.
Well, the Knicks are on coast with play like Patrick Ewing's been providing today. Let's take a Perry Ellis look at the Knicks attack now. Mason with that soft hook. Watch Ewing coming in. No one boxing him out. Oh, what a party he's having today. Slam dunk. I wonder how long Pat Riley's going to stick with Patrick Ewing.
Well, he's matched his season high. This is the 5th time he has scored 30 points. Patrick Ewing turning it after the early foul trouble. In terms of points in the paint, Knicks doubling up on the New Jersey Nets. They've done it in every department. Coleman draws the foul. Derek Coleman began with a burst. He had 16 of the half, 15 of the 16 in the first quarter, but since then, very quiet. Only 2 points for Coleman in the second half, and overall he is 4 for 17. He has missed his last 9 shots. At the free throw line, he's 10 of 12. The New Jersey Nets headed in the direction of their 24th loss. They come in at 15 and 23. Friday night they play at Charlotte. Sunday they're home to Washington. They are down 92-70. 8:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Ewing, yes. So that is a season high of 32 points for Patrick Ewing. Ewing 13 of 22 from the field. Coleman forcing and hitting. Bad shot, but he hit it. And that ends the streak of 9 straight misses. Nice pass from Mason, but Bonner blows the layup. Here's Childs for 3. Childs has come on to hit 5 points in a hurry, and the Knicks now lead 94-75.
He didn't look like he was out of his range either. It looked very good shooting that jump shot.
Shot clock at 6. Ewing squaring up against Williams, then threw it back out and is called for a travel. And Shinsis and Brown checking back in. A rare turnover by the Knicks, only their 3rd for the game. So Floyd and Childs now in the backcourt. Shinsis, Brown, and Gilliam up front. Just under 7 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Ewing with rebound number 14. Mason able to save it. There is Starks for 3. John Starks from downtown. That is his 3rd three-pointer of the game. All 9 points have come by virtue of 3-point shots. And the Knicks lead 97-75. 3-point attempt off the mark by Childs. And it will be Nick Ball. Riley staying with a backcourt of Starks and Davis. Ewing with Bonner and Mason up front. Davis with the room. Yes. Schintzius came too late. And Davis knocks down the three from deep in the corner. The Knicks 100 and the Nets 75. Davis with 14 points. And the crowd reacts because Doug Christie is coming off the bench and reporting over to the scorer's table as Childs hits again. 8 points for Childs. Another three-pointer. Doug Christie's only game action as a Knick came against the Nets. And here he comes, the one-time Los Angeles Laker. Pat Riley not able to get playing time for Christie. Starks will sit down. Lees with 9 points.
Well, Marv, I think Pat has carefully chosen when Christie would play, and that is in a situation where he would have zero pressure on him to perform. The Knicks are in such control now, they don't need his efforts that much.
Well, his only other action came back on December the 27th against the Nets.
The Knicks are back, and so is Mike Francesa, along with Kathleen Murphy and some of the biggest stars in sports and showbiz on Live from the Play-by-Play right here on NSG.
The New York Yankees lead the major leagues with more championships, more great moments, and more legendary baseball heroes than any other team in history. And now, you can share in the glory of the pinstripes with a newly released book entitled The Yankees, written by famous New York sports writer Phil Pepe. It's the first authorized complete history of the Bronx Bombers, The Yankees. You can order this one-of-a-kind book for only $39.95 plus shipping and handling. Just call 1-800-88-YANKS. That's 1-800-88-YANKS. Available for a limited time only.
I want to know about
It's filled with all kinds of facts about Rogaine. And because you need a prescription to get Rogaine, we'll send you a list of local doctors and special money-saving offers to help you decide if Rogaine is right for you.
But I want to know right now.
We'll mail it to you today. So what are you waiting for? Call now for your free information kit. Call 1-800-432-1080.
We've got 5:34 left in this game. We got a happy Knicks bench due in no small measure to the AT&T long-distance shooting demonstration that we're going to see now from John Starks. Make that 8 out of 16 for the Knicks from three-point range this afternoon.
Only the fourth turnover this afternoon for the Knicks. So the Nets get it back. It's Doug Christie who just checked in, guarding Sleepy Floyd. Christie coming on for Starks, who also had 9 assists along with his 9 points. Schintzius, air ball, fielded by Mason. We're down to 5 minutes to go in the fourth. And the Knicks with a 100-77 lead. Christie going one-on-one against Floyd, and he's hit on a reach-in foul. Actually, John, this is the first time since the opening minutes that this game has become somewhat interesting, because we'll see some new people on the court. Doug Christie out there right now, and perhaps we'll even get a look at Charlie Ward and maybe Greg Anthony in a rare appearance.
I think you're getting carried away now, Mark. You're going out on a limb.
Davis for 3. Yes. And an assist for Doug Christie. Doug Christie missed the first 24 games after coming over from the Lakers because of an ankle problem. Well, here comes Charlie Ward.
Oh.
Charlie off the bench, and this will get the crowd going. Charlie Ward's last game action, December 18th at Portland. Overall, he's appeared in only 4 games. The rookie from Florida State handling now against Chris Childs. A backcourt of Christie and Ward. Ewing gives it back out. Christie for 3. Yes! Doug Christie hits from downtown. His first points as a New York Knick.
Boy, is that confidence.
Gilliam. And the Knicks now lead 106-79. Just under 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. This is the first time all afternoon this crowd has been excited. And here is Charlie Ward.
goes away time. How about Christie coming out and taking a three like that?
Vince's pass intercepted. Christie, Hamlin. Ward. Played by Childs. Ward fires.
Charlie Ward has a strange way of making impressions, Bob. You know, in the limited time we've seen him play, he takes a lot of shots.
And that is not his game. He is a playmaker. When he got the playing time during preseason, he was looking to set people up, but he's so anxious to show he can hit the shot. Bonner is fouled. And so Charlie has been pumping him up, but I think if he saw regular action, that would not be his style. Patrick Ewing hearing it from the crowd as he departs with a season-high 32. A superb performance by Ewing.
It couldn't come at a better time, Marv, because the next opponent looms Thursday in Houston. Hakeem Olajuwon, let's see what he's done lately. Let's see, last Friday, 47 points, 10 rebounds against the Spurs in a win. Third leading scorer in the league, fifth leading rebounder in the league. It seems Hakeem is on his game once again.
And the Rockets with a record of 22-11, second in the Midwest, 2 games behind Utah. The Jazz with 5 straight wins. 107-79 Knicks. Just a shade under 3 to go in the fourth. Here's Rick Mahorn. Christie played by Walters. That time he forced it up. Christie able to hustle it. And he's called for steps. And now here's Monty Williams for Anthony Mason, who had a solid performance. 10 points, 12 rebounds for Mason, and a very strong defensive job, matched up for a good portion of the game with Derek Coleman. So Shinsis with his first field goal. He has the good outside touch. The Knicks now lead 107-83. 2:20 left in the fourth. And a traveling violation.
Christie's trying to show the whole repertoire here in this limited time. Taking a couple of shots. Just tried to throw a nice pass, but he got stopped by the infraction. He's got a lot to his game, and he wants to show it all now.
The Knicks with only 6 turnovers for the game. That is a season low. The previous season low, 11. And a loose ball foul is called. Foul on Kite.
That 6 turnovers, of course, is a direct result of the lack of defensive intensity of the Nets.
Here's Childs. And rebounded by Monty Williams. The most unusual group on the floor for the New York Knicks. Because of the blowout nature of the game. Here's Charlie Ward, who is rejected. We have Ward and Christie, Williams, Bonner, and Kite. Move pass from Shinsis, setting up Rex Walters, who now has 10 points. 5 men in the game. Patrick Ewing with 32, 17 for Hubert Davis. Last touched by Childs. For the Nets, 22 for Coleman. He had 15 of the 22 in the first quarter. Kenny Anderson with 16, but not an impact game for either Coleman or Anderson. Coleman shot 5 for 18 from the field. Kite for the hook shot. A bit off. Shinsis got a piece of it. Bonner rebound. Bonner for Christie. 3 seconds. Christie off the fake. Call for a 3-second violation. A minute 3 to go. So the Knicks with a good turn following the loss here Saturday night against Utah. They look to the 3-game road trip coming up Thursday in Houston, Friday at Dallas, Sunday in Miami. A horn. And the Knicks now lead 107 to 87. A brutal shooting performance by the Nets. 35% for the game. Ward for 3.
It's the Charlie Ward Show.
Looking to get on the score sheet. Charlie 0 for 4, just pumping him up in this fourth quarter. And the foul is called on Bonner.
Charlie ought to think about, seriously now, about showing his ability to pass the ball on the floor a little bit.
And we believe that you are serious.
Yes, I am. This is a serious business. Meanwhile, the Knicks 10 out of 21 from three-point range, continuing the trend of late. Double-figure scoring with the three-point makes, which is amazing.
20 seconds left in the game. Here's Christie. Might miss the tip. Williams with the steal. Bonner trying to get it back out. Time running out. And the foul is called on Ward, or will they wave it off? Apparently, they wisely wave it off. So the Knicks have defeated the Nets 107 to 88. No, they a change. Two of the officials were headed to the locker room, but Nolan Fine says, come on back.
And Marv, there were several people here today taking a long lunch. People heading back to their office, too, you know.
Are you referring to members of the Nets?
No, members of the crowd.
Oh, I see, the crowd. And headed back to the office. 0.5 of a second remaining, as Childs will shoot the 2. And now this game is officially over. And the final, the Knicks 107 and the Nets 90. So the Knicks go to 21 and 13. And the Nets drop to 15 and 24. And the Knicks now have won 2 of 3 over the Nets this season, with 2 more meetings to come. We'll be back with the wrap-up right after these messages.
Who says clothes make the man? By looking at me, it's easy to see how hair can...
Machines like Soloflex and NordicFlex, you've got to see what Bowflex can do for you. It simply produces results. Call right now for this free 15-minute video. It will show you exactly how Bowflex will let you outperform Soloflex and NordicFlex. You'll be surprised at how effective Bowflex really is. If you want to see the easiest, most effective way of exercising at home, you need to see this video. It's absolutely free, so call for yours right now.
If you take your children to see one big show this year, it should be Sesame Street Live. Why? Well, look at our character references. They're the best in the business. After all, they're the characters both you and your kids love. Sesame Street Live. Fun you can trust.
Where's the Birdie? February 2nd through 26th at the Paramount. Tickets at the Garden box office or Ticketmaster. 212-307-7171.
Dear car owners, we do over 2 million.
In the third quarter all the way to the end. A lot to admire about the way Patrick Ewing played every single one of the minutes today that he was on the floor. 32 points and 15 rebounds. Pat Riley pulling him late in the fourth quarter so that he could get a standing ovation from the 98th sellout here at Madison Square Garden on Martin Luther King Day. Joining us now is Monty Williams. And Monty, let's just check the stat sheet here just to make it official. 9 points, 8 rebounds, a little bit of a breakthrough today in consistency in scoring. But you've been in there for this great run of wins for the Knicks, and you're getting solid time. Can you chart for me a little bit about how you feel differently now compared to when this streak began?
I feel a lot more comfortable now. I think my role isn't that hard. All I have to do is compliment Patrick and then John and Charles and just do the little things like dive after balls and get rebounds and things like that. If I get my points, that's okay, but the best thing is we're getting the wins now.
Talk to me about the way the Knicks felt coming into this game. Obviously, they lose Saturday night. Maybe you were a little tired from traveling from Milwaukee, but you know what lies ahead. You know what Thursday means to this team, even though you weren't in Game 7 of the finals last year.
Yeah, I've talked to the guys, and Thursday's going to be really intense. And I
so they are talking about it.
Yeah, we're talking about it, and we've been looking forward to it, just like the Indiana game last week. And I think the guys are going to be really jacked up. It'd be great if we had Oak and Herb back, but we have to go with what we have.
A couple of good dunks for you in the game today. Those always feel good, but they also exhibited confidence in the way you feel about your role in this team, too.
Yeah, I understand that I have a role. Some people on our team are scorers or rebounders, but my role is to just bring energy to the crowd and just get everybody in it, and I'm trying to do the best that I can right now.
When suddenly you're starting on a team that's in the midst of a 5-game losing streak, what kind of things do you do to sort of create that role for yourself? You know, I mean, this team was sort of lacking confidence there, and then things changed, and suddenly you're the starter.
I think it's all about preparation, you know, being with Coach Van Gundy before practice and listening to Coach Rouse before practice, you know, telling me little things. It's not so much being on the court, it's the things before getting on the court that help me out a lot.
You spend a lot of time with Charlie Ward. What's the story? Charlie comes in and he just wants to shoot 3-pointers. What's going on with that?
Charlie thinks he's running an option or something like that. He's going to get his attempts no matter what.
What about the passing? He can do that too, right?
Yeah, I like to pass a lot. I like, you know, getting somebody else a bucket more so than myself, because that's all I did in college was score. And I have a chance to, you know, get the ball to a lot of people that can score, like John and Patrick and Mace and Charles and those guys.
Okay, how do you think Thursday's going to go with all the talk and all the preparation? The Knicks couldn't be better prepared than they are, winning 9 of 10 heading into the Summit.
I think it's going to be a real intense game. And, you know, Houston, they should look out because, you know, a lot of guys are talking about us because we don't have Oak and Herb and we can't rebound, but it's going to be really intense.
Monty, great team win for the Knicks today. Thanks for your time as always.
Thank you very much.
All right, Monty Williams looking for the free car wash from Charles Oakley. Again, that's a popular activity on this Knicks team. As the Knicks win it easily over the New Jersey Nets today, Monty Williams did score 9, did grab 8 rebounds, and here are 2 of those 9. Nicely done. Back in a moment.
During the recent holiday season, Nickelodeon Family Classics in Madison Square Garden brought to New York a new live musical version of A Christmas Carol. 300,000 people came and made A Christmas Carol.
95 horsepower enhanced V6 and 4-wheel anti-lock brakes. You're sure to get there. And after all, isn't that the point? The all-new Jimmy. At your Tri-State GMC truck dealer today.
Person needs to send resume to New York. Wants to make a big impression. Goes to post office. Finds out priority mail is a smart solution. Resume gets noticed. Person gets job. Now, if he can only get a cab. Team needs new jerseys. Person has to deliver them overnight. Goes to post office. Finds express mail is a smart solution. Guarantees delivery. Jerseys arrive on time. Person avoids getting sacked.
Yeah!
Here comes Frankie on a breakaway. He shoots. He scores! Here's Frankie all alone on the fast break, and he jams it home. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. It's Frankie.
The Brat, the ultimate.
Final score at Madison Square Garden this afternoon in front of a sellout on this matinee, Martin Luther King Day. 107-90, and it wasn't even that close. The Knicks winning easily, just carrying that 21-point lead from halftime all the way through the second half. And that is not the formula in the NBA. The 20-point halftime lead is usually like some sort of a curse, but that's how much the Knicks dominated this game today. The Knicks extremely crisp, great game by Derek Harper and John Starks in ball distribution, overall handling of the ball. Heading into the fourth quarter, which was all garbage time, so let's discount it. The Knicks had only 2 turnovers. I don't remember the last time such a thing existed for this team, but just watch the way they whipped the ball around the perimeter. Earlier in the game, we used this to illustrate straight. Ball movement, creating open shots. It's become the theme for this team over the winning streak. They've won now 9 of 10. Ewing just wide open. The Nets just couldn't keep up with that part of their game today. Now, the leading scorer summary is brought to you by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. Great game, one of the best of the season for Patrick Ewing all around. He shoots from the floor, 13 of 22, grabs 15 rebounds, passes off for 4 assists, and blocks 2 shots, scoring 32. Hubert Davis had 17 points. As the three-pointers continue to fall, the Knicks hit 10 of 21. That's up near 50%. As Harper hits 3 of 4 from beyond the stripe, and Hubert Davis does the same, hitting 3 of 6. Mason had 10. Starks had 9 and 6 assists. Monty Williams as well, a contribution of 9. Derek Coleman had 16 to begin the second quarter, only 6 the rest of the way. You have to wonder how that's possible. Kenny Anderson, 16 points for New Jersey. He shot 3 of 8 as those two, the leaders of this team, combined to shoot 8 of 28. Armin Gilliam, 13 points, and there were 3 net players with 10. And you get the idea. It was a 107-90 victory. By the way, Patrick Ewing's 32 points, a season high. Lots more to come on the post-game report, but we'll conclude now our official game.
New York Knicks basketball has been brought to you by Ice Draft. Taste the future of draft.